If you're a chocolate lover, you're going to love this recipe. Today we're making a rich, creamy chocolate cheesecake that's super easy to make, but unbelievably rich and chocolatey in every bite. First up, the crust. I'm using soft chocolate cookies instead of graham crackers. They crush easily by hand into fine crumbs. If you're using graham crackers, just use a blender or food processor. Next, we'll need 1/3 cup of melted butter. Pour it into the cookie crumbs and mix everything together. If your cookies are soft like mine, you may need slightly less butter than the recipe calls for. Too much butter can cause it to leak or blend into the cheesecake layer. You want a mixture that holds together when pressed, just like this. Set it aside, and let's prepare the pan. I'm using an adjustable cake ring, but you can also use a springform pan. Mine is too large, so the cheesecake would be too thin. Lay a sheet of foil on your work surface, then place a sheet of parchment paper on top. Set the cake ring over it, and wrap the foil tightly around the outside, just like this. If you're using a springform pan, simply line the bottom with parchment paper. You can also lightly grease the sides if you'd like. Place the cake ring on your baking sheet, and we're going to add all of the cookie crumb mixture to the pan. Smooth everything out with a spatula so it's evenly spread. Then, press it down firmly using a glass to really compact the base. Finally, go over the edges and shape it nicely with a spoon. Make sure the crust is an even thickness all the way around the pan so it bakes evenly. Pop the crust into the fridge while we work on the cheesecake filling. You'll need 2 blocks of Philadelphia-style cream cheese. Then add 3/4 cup of sugar. Beat it together just until combined. Don't overmix, or the cheesecake can turn too airy and crack while baking. Now add 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder and a pinch of salt. Gently mix it with a spatula until smooth and fully combined. Don't use a mixer from here on. It adds too much air into the batter, which can make the cheesecake rise in the oven and can cause bubbles, cracks, and a wavy surface. Next up, we're going to add 3 eggs, one by one, mixing well after each egg until the batter is smooth. Don't add them all at once because they won't mix in evenly, and the texture won't be as smooth and creamy as we want it to be. Oh, and of course, no mixer here. Just gently fold everything together using a spatula. You want a creamy batter that's fully blended and lump-free, just like this. Now take a saucepan, add some water, and place it on the stove over medium heat until it comes to a gentle boil. Meanwhile, break 2 bars of dark chocolate into chunks and add them to a heat-proof bowl. Once the water simmers, place the bowl of chocolate on top and let it melt. Make sure the bottom of the bowl doesn't touch the water. Keep stirring constantly so the chocolate melts evenly and doesn't get too hot in some spots. You want it completely melted, smooth, and glossy. Let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes to cool slightly. Then add half of the melted chocolate into the mixture and gently whisk until smooth. We're adding it in 2 parts so it blends in easily and stays smooth. Make sure the chocolate isn't too hot, or it can make the filling too runny and mess up the texture. Pour in 2/3 cup of heavy cream and whisk everything together again, just until combined. The mixture should be smooth, thick, and very chocolatey. Perfect. Take the chilled crust out of the fridge and pour the creamy cheesecake filling over the top. Spread it out with a spatula to evenly distribute the filling. Then, smooth it out with a spoon for a more even, clean finish, especially around the edges. Pour hot water into a deep tray on the lower rack of the oven. Then, place the cheesecake on the middle rack so it bakes gently with even heat and steam from the water bath. Bake until the edges are set, but the center still has a slight wobble. Turn off the oven and let it cool slowly inside. If you'd like, you can also make a simple chocolate ganache for the topping. Finely chop 1 bar of dark chocolate. Pour 1/3 cup of heavy cream into a saucepan. Place it over medium heat and heat it until it just starts to simmer. Pour the hot cream over the chopped chocolate and let it sit for a minute or two. Then, gently whisk until the ganache is smooth and glossy. And if you're enjoying this chocolatey recipe, don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Let the ganache sit for a bit so it cools and thickens. Now, back to the chilled cheesecake. Carefully remove the foil and parchment from the bottom and transfer it to a serving plate. It's important that it has cooled completely at room temperature and chilled in the fridge for at least 4 hours before this step. Run a knife around the edges and remove the cake ring. Oh, wow! Carefully pour the ganache over the top. Use a spoon to spread it gently, letting it drip naturally down the sides. Make sure the cheesecake is fully chilled, so the ganache sets properly and keeps a clean, smooth layer on top. And here it is, a rich chocolate cheesecake with a smooth, dense, and incredibly delicate creamy texture. It slices beautifully, holding its shape perfectly, while staying soft, silky, and very creamy inside. Isn't it a dream? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.